welcome to the Quick and Painless Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am Carter.
And I am the other host, Dillon. And episode 15, season 1?
Yeah. What?
Almost to 20.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. The big old 1-5.
Yep, we are slowly working our way up into the upper echelon of podcasting mediocrity. So
I was going to say, of what? Of numbers? The upper echelon of numbers.
Yep.
We are now closer to 20 than we are to 1.
Than we ever have been ever since we started this.
Right. And no week prior to this week have we been this close to 20 episodes.
I hope everybody listening is holding, sitting down and just waiting for the excitement that's going to happen.
Now, you, Dylan, with a child at home that you are now having to homeschool, that's Common Core math, right? What we just went through?
Sure. Let's go with that.
Let's go with that. You had 10 chickens. I gave you 10 more, and then took 5 of them away.
3.14.
And then gave you 10 more chickens. Pie. Fractions.
3.14, which is a fraction, right?
Exactly. 100% of the time, it is a fraction.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So happy week. I like how 2 weeks ago we said, after our 2-week hiatus, we said, well, we're going to get a lot more consistent now. They're going to come out every Friday.
Boy, were we wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shot ourselves in the foot on that. So
yeah, that was a swerve. There was a clever twist there. Bruce Willis is actually the ghost, and we aren't doing it every 2 weeks.
And somebody's my father. So
right, yeah, the guy in the elevator was the devil the whole time.
Yeah,
and but no. So this is Sunday, 3/29/20. But then again, who cares what day and time it is, because all of these days blend together nowadays.
Man, yeah, they've all blended together for a while now. It's just like, what day is it? All that other stuff is still going on.
Yeah. The other stuff is definitely still going on.
Mm-hmm. And just like our podcast episode, they're climbing in numbers too. It's climbing. The numbers keep getting higher, so.
Yeah. Our quarantine days are going to surpass our podcast episodes very soon.
Very quickly, yes. Very quickly. So, sir, how have you been? How's your week been going for you?
Good, man. It's I was telling you before we started recording that we've been just doing more baby stuff. Got the room pretty much done. Yeah, we got, it's been painted. We got the crib in there. We ordered some more stuff.
Nice.
She's got like her little name that's going. Oh, it's a girl, by the way. I don't know if, surprise.
I don't know if my wife knows that yet, but it's a girl.
Yeah. I feel like now I should tell everyone, but no, we have her name that we painted that's going to go above her crib, and I don't know, maybe that's cliche, but you know what, screw you. So
first baby, you got to do all the cliche stuff, I would think.
The second one will probably be a boy, and
second one you'll just put a blanket down in the basement, and that's where it's going to sleep. So.
That's right. Figure it out.
Yep.
Come on, survival of the fittest.
So, what name did you and your wife decide on? And how did you come up with that name? Or can you even say? Are you even allowed to say what the name is?
Negative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have a name. It's a very cool name. I like the name, but...
you can't say.
Cannot say.
Can you say how you guys decided on the name? Without spoiling anything?
So her first name has pretty much no
vowels.
There's no tie into like my family or her family.
Okay.
So it's just kind of a name we decided upon, and then everything else. She's not a weirdo like you and has 6 middle names, but
it's 2 middle names. So
you know what? 2 is a lot closer to 6 than 1.
15's closer to 20.
Numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, we've fractioned her middle name, and so it's a family name, her middle name.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
Exciting stuff.
It's Quick. Her name's Quick.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
No, not.
Quick Architect, Aerial Assault, Gray.
Correct.
I like it. It just
exactly
rolls off the tongue.
I will say I used a horrible joke earlier this weekend, and I'm going to recycle it now, which is my second least favorite thing to do in the world. But I'm going to say it anyway. Someone said something about something being too gray, and I said, well, Gray's my middle name. Oh, wait. Okay, so moving on. How have you been, sir?
Been okay. Working.
Still working.
Going to work. I don't know if this was in place the last time we recorded, but Michigan, the state that I live in, issued what they're calling it, stay home, stay safe thing. So only go out, if you need to for like groceries and gas and all that stuff, unless you are considered an essential worker, which with what I do fits into that category. So
right.
Yeah.
You are essential.
I am essential. I'm not going to give
wrestling podcast host.
Exactly. Which is perfect.
Excuse me, sir. What the hell do you think you're doing out here?
Recording a podcast. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So sorry.
Let's see. Yep. That's considered essential. So, move along.
No. Sorry we bothered you.
No, with what I do, without giving away the name of the company that I work for, I work in the medical manufacturing field. So, under that, guys,
you grow pot.
Yes.
I knew it.
Yep. And it's booming right now too. So, yeah. But nope. Because of that, I am considered an essential worker. So, yeah. That's it.
Well, here's my question for you. So,
okay.
Regardless of what you do for a living, that completely, besides the point. This was all going to happen, right? This pandemic was going to happen regardless of what career path you chose. Would you agree with that?
Unless I did like a whole Back to the Future type of scenario and was able to change it, whatever I did change the course of that, then yes.
So you're saying that had you, instead of going into what you're doing, had you went into time travel, this wouldn't have happened?
Oh, there's a good chance that wouldn't have happened.
So this is your fault.
Yeah.
When all this happened, I was like, I feel like Dillon has something to do with this.
Yeah, instead of building a time machine out of a DeLorean, I used a Corsica.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And that screwed everything up for everybody, so.
Yeah. So not all ingredients mix.
No. Don't.
I get it.
If you guys take anything away from this podcast, please do not build a time machine out of a Corsica.
No.
Bad things will happen.
Okay, so minus time travel, had you done anything else, this pandemic would still have happened, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, put yourself in, let's say you were still an active pro wrestler and you were on the mainstream level.
Okay.
Let's say you were working for WWE at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you would be asked to perform, sure, albeit in front of, empty arena, probably, with plenty of access to medical personnel and all of that, but performing nonetheless, yes. Still doing your job. So the parallel is there that you are working while this pandemic is going on. But if your job was pro wrestler for NXT, still working, how would you feel about that?
Oh, probably the same way I feel right now. Just,
okay.
Nervous and trying to be cautious at the same time. So it would definitely be something that would weigh on my mind, each day, every time I go out there, But, I would still try to do it if I could, And I guess it would depend if I had a family or not, too.
Sure.
Yeah. So, so we'll just take the current scenario that, I have a daughter. So, yep. Yeah, I would try to do it to the best of my ability. While also trying to be cautious at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, there is no right or wrong answer, really. I think everybody just does what they can to the level of their comfort level. Mm-hmm. It's interesting to look at it that way because, of course, and we host a podcast that is centered completely around, well, I can't say completely.
But we call it a wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talk about that and obviously talking about wrestling being that much needed distraction from everything that's going on in the world. It's interesting to put yourself in those shoes to be, okay, given everything right now, if you are someone who is, I think everyone's concerned, but if you're someone who maybe is living a little bit more in fear than some of the others, how would you proceed in that tough situation?
Are you asking me a question, or are you making a statement?
Yeah, it's kind of a rhetorical question.
Okay.
Like, you in general, if you are in this situation, how would you feel? Because I think, and we've said this before, we, of course, admittedly, can be pretty critical of the wrestling we watch, but I think it comes from a respectful perspective. But I think a lot of other people are in that situation, too, where we can be critical of what we see. However, if we ourselves are concerned about safety and well-being, then how can we come from a place like that, when they're in this situation? Given everything that's going on, literally risking their lives in more ways than one, right?
Right, I would say so. Depending on, if you happen to get this, Also just depending on, how your body is, how your body reacts to it. But,
Yep.
Yeah, even though you could be fine, there's always that chance of just, passing it on to somebody else who may not be okay or who has, health problems. So,
totally.
That's definitely something that, people are worried about, too. So,
Yep. Yeah, and I think that's something you and I talked about from the beginning is I always told you that I'm not worried about getting it myself. I'm worried about carrying it. Mm-hmm. And giving it to someone I randomly come in contact with or, God forbid, my pregnant wife.
Right.
Right. So, but anyway, all of that aside, I guess the reason I bring that up is because, and here I am, breaking news. Not really. It's not breaking news. We're a little late. But you know what? As far as everybody knows, this is breaking news. Roman Reigns.
Oh, yeah.
Electing not to wrestle at WrestleMania due to the coronavirus and his suppressed immune system from battling leukemia.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
It is what it is. He dealt with a situation where, like I said, he was battling leukemia. So automatically that, like you said, that compromises his immune system. So that puts him at a higher risk than anybody else that, he's around.
Yeah.
So I applaud him for it. He's thinking about himself, thinking, about his family. And I'm sure that was to a certain extent, a really tough conclusion to come to. But I think it was overall the right one for him and for his family and for everyone else that he possibly could be working with. So, no, and I think that's kind of the response that everyone else has had too. I mean, I haven't seen anybody like, oh, what the hell, oh, screw you, Roman. No, I mean, I haven't seen anything like that, but
I've seen some bad takes.
Have you really?
I have, yeah. I've seen some people saying that it's like it's all set up, like it's not really him that said he didn't want to wrestle. It was Vince saying like, oh, if we say that Roman doesn't want to do this, it'll make him more over. But I've seen people take that stance on it, and I'm like, come on, you guys. Like,
yeah, really.
Let's not. I don't know. Let's
not twist a conspiracy theory out of this whole situation.
Right.
That's a shame.
So I've seen that,
That's
but
a shame.
yeah, for the most part, I think everybody's coming from the same place. But I like to see stuff like that. I like that he is taking a stand. He is putting himself and his health first, because ultimately that is all that matters in the grand scheme of things. Who knows? He wrestles until he's, 45. I mean, that's that's half your life. I mean, let's say you're middle-aged at that point. I mean, you've got the rest of your life, that you have to think about. So it's silly to take a risk when it is so unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. I think the WWE has said to their talent that they, if they don't feel comfortable performing, to let them know, and they won't be punished in any way, shape, or form for not wanting to perform.
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. I mean, totally. I had heard that there's a few other people saying that they don't feel comfortable. I think Miz and Morrison were two. I don't think that's true, though, because I think they're still scheduled in that tag team match.
Yeah.
I heard Edge was another one, but I don't think that's true either, because as far as I know, he and Randy Orton are still scheduled. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I do know that from what I read, there have been a few people taken off the show.
Yeah.
Or have been put in quarantine. I think most notably Rey Mysterio is in quarantine himself, and who was it, Dana Brooke?
Yeah.
I believe it was, yeah. So as far as I know, those are the only two people that have quarantined themselves. I think the other people that I've read about pulled out either due to injury or some other thing, like was it Razor from Authors of Pain? He had some sort of injury that
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I don't think he had a match or anything scheduled for WrestleMania, but
gotcha.
Being part of Seth Rollins' little stable right there, I'm sure that they would have like accompanied him to the ring, but I think he's out with an injury. Bobby Lashley?
Oh, right. I didn't hear that one yet.
Lashley's out. I can't think off the top of my head. I can't think of what it is that he's out, but
hepatitis, I think.
Hepatitis?
Lashley. That was not good.
Oh, Lashley. So, there's a few other people too, but basically the point is, like, it's people are dropping, man.
Yeah.
People are dropping.
I listened, and I know we got pretty much hot and heavy with the wrestling right away this week. I mean, that's kind of a contrast to last week. We think we spent 25 minutes talking about Disney Plus.
Right.
But anyway, listening to Talk is Jericho this week, he was saying that they were talking about doing basically one big send-off, with blood and guts, and then that's, shutting it down for a month and kind of calling at the end of season 1.
Right. Which is a good call. I mean,
totally.
Yeah. Everything that's going on, you don't want to put that many people in the ring at the same time. And plus, I mean, if there's a chance you can do it at a later point and do it I think they were going to originally do it in New Jersey or New York.
Yeah, Newark.
Yeah, and they were going to have like a sellout crowd for it. I mean, yeah, why not try to save that for when, all this stuff finally gets better and go back to New Jersey and, do it in front of those fans.
Yeah.
So, A lot of things changing.
Yeah, a lot of things changing. I think
things are changing.
The biggest thing for us is, we mostly focus on AEW and WWE. I mean, sometimes we talk about NWA. We try to talk about them more than we do. Impact is another one. MLW every once in a while. ROH, and then of course indies here and there. But with everything shutting down, really all we can talk about is AEW and WWE. So it makes our jobs a little easier, I suppose you could say.
In a way, yes. Not
in a way.
Yeah. Makes our weeks a little easier when we're trying to watch as much stuff as we can and try to, intake a massive amount of news when we can. So.
Now, I use that as kind of a segue because I was going to kind of go back a little bit and ask you what you've been up to. And you mentioned that you spent a large portion of the weekend watching some things. So lay it on what you got there.
This weekend, first thing, watched Return to Oz.
Oh, right.
Yes. Return to Oz.
I was confused. I thought that was the James Franco version.
No, it's Dorothy. I think this came out sometime in the 80s, but...
Is it called Dorothy's Revenge? Because they missed out if it isn't.
That sounds a lot sexier than Return to Oz.
So, dang it.
But that's a really dark movie, in comparison to The Wizard of Oz.
Really?
Yeah, it's, super dark.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's just really weird, too. Really, really weird movie. I think it begins by... Well, basically, the whole purpose is, or the storyline is that Dorothy keeps talking about Oz, so, her aunt takes her to this psychiatrist place to get, some sort of electroshock therapy thing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, right before they do it, she escapes, and there's a storm going on at the time, and she gets caught in a river that's flowing pretty fast, and then she gets on a piece of wood and, falls asleep while she escapes, and then wakes up, and she's back in Oz, and then she has to, save Oz from, whatever. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's really dark. But...
Yeah, I don't remember any of that.
Yeah. Check it out, if you want to be if you're really in a dark mood, okay. I guess. Yeah. Maybe take some mushrooms beforehand and yeah.
Magic mushrooms?
Magic. Yes.
Okay.
So the other thing that I watched, I jumped on the bandwagon and I started watching Tiger King. Yeah.
That is not where I thought you were going to go with all of this.
Yep. I started watching Tiger King.
Wow. Where are you at?
Episode 4?
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. All those people are horrible people. Just bad people that only think about themselves.
It's so they've run a few independent shows at GW Zoo. I don't know if you're aware of that.
No.
Yeah.
No. I was not aware of that. There's
plenty of indie guys that are very familiar with Joe Exotic and have pictures with him, and it's it's pretty awesome. It's like Warped Tour. You remember how they used to run shows at the Warped Tour? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that. It was very intriguing. I'm a little upset that it was a limited series and that I rifled through all episodes in 2 days.
How many episodes are there?
I think there's only 6.
Okay, so I'm just about done then.
Yeah, it's either 6 or 7. I don't remember exactly. I mean, dude, all it takes is one quarantine day, and you're like, wait, how many series did I finish today? Crap.
Yeah. Look at this gold mine that I just found of
right
weird shows that I can watch on Netflix.
Well, dude, I'll wake up. I wake up pretty early as it is. Before the world ended, I'd get up at 4 4 or 5, something like that, and I'd usually work out and kind of like get the day started or whatever. Now it's like I'll get up, I don't know, let's say 6, and make some coffee, kind of get going for the day, and then I'll just put on like, so I haven't canceled cable yet. This is going to sound really dumb. I haven't canceled cable yet, but I've stopped watching cable.
Okay.
So my wife's got some shows on DVR that she's trying to get through before I can cancel it. So that's that. Anyway, so I'm trying to just, all right, when I do watch TV, it'll be like, Apple TV or YouTube, YouTube, like WrestlingHeadlines.com, cheap plug, or Netflix. And so, dude, like if I turn it on, I'll turn it on to freaking Doomsday Preppers, which is especially relevant now.
Are you taking notes like the entire time?
Honestly, the only notes I'm taking are like, okay, if shit really hits the fan, where's this guy live?
Right. I can drink my own pee?
No. All right, this guy who scored 85 out of 100 based on the experts, he lives in Indiana. All right, I got it.
Yep, that's all I need.
Drive into his house. Avoid the Molotov cocktails. Okay. But yeah.
Yeah. So Tiger King totally wasn't the show that I thought it was going to be.
What did you think it was?
Some sort of comedy, like reality comedy thing. Just because of all the pictures that. Well, yeah, but just because of all the pictures that I've seen, like I thought it was going to be like more on the comedic side. But
did you think it was going to be about Sagat from Street Fighter?
Right. Yeah.
Tiger uppercut.
But no, like I was surprised when I started watching it. Like, oh man, like this is what it's about. Oh well, that person's a piece of crap. Well, this person's a piece of crap too. Well, that one's less of a piece of crap than the other 2 pieces of crap, but he's still kind of a piece of crap.
Right.
And so far, they're all just like, mingling with like a war over tigers and exotic animals and trying to take each other down. It's crazy.
Yeah, this isn't really a spoiler, but it's in the very last episode. It's not really a spoiler, like it doesn't give anything away, but he's talking about like how he had 2 chimpanzees. And he calls them chimpanzees, first of all, so like, his emphasis is wrong. But anyway, he
on top of that,
when they get let out of their cages, they run to each other and embrace.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's the first thing that they did, which tells me that I robbed them of that, of all of these years. So it is good, I suppose, that you see some remorse shown at the end. Like that they realized that what they were doing was really just kind of glamorizing their own life rather than rescuing the animals they originally sought out to rescue from the beginning.
Right. No, I think they started off with like good intentions, but like somewhere along the way, they just got so corrupted somehow by their ego and like by their money. Yeah. So and now that's where they're at right now. So
meth.
Yeah, I haven't got to that part yet. So
I think you have. Did
I?
I think that was episode 1.
Oh, was it? Wow, I didn't even see that.
No, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so Tiger King. So I really queued that up because I thought for sure you were going to talk about Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh, I did see that. I did see the Chris Benoit episode. So.
Yeah, well, see, I figured. Now, I don't write your scripts for you, but you were talking about Return of the Oz and how dark it was. And I said, what else have you watched? Thinking this is a normal product.
Thought I was gonna go right, but I went far left.
You did indeed. You're like,
yeah.
Speaking of dark and wrestling, Tiger King.
Tiger King. Huh? You guys see this, right?
And steroid. Anyway.
But no, I did watch the Dark Side of the Ring episode about Chris Benoit, and it was really sad.
Yeah.
Really sad. I mean, you can't, I don't know, I'm trying to think of the right way to say it. You can't, there's no there's no excuse for what he did to like his daughter and his son.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unforgivable. That's what I was looking for. Like, it's unforgivable for what he did. But, I mean, going more in depth to the story and, you know, talking with people and giving their side of the story on how he, you know, possibly came to this state of mind that he eventually ended up to was really interesting. And it just gave, like, a totally different side of the story.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. I mean, I followed when all of that first happened. I followed it pretty closely because it was so unbelievable. You know, truthfully, Benoit was one of my favorite wrestlers, especially back then. You know, I loved when the Radicals came from WCW to WWF. Like I loved that whole thing, and I was like, yes, like. Benoit and Malenko were two of my favorites, and Mysterio, which obviously I realized he wasn't part of the Radicals, but I'm just saying in terms of people from WCW and Jericho. But anyway, so when all of that happened, it was so shocking, and then when you find out what really happened, it was just like, it was so unbelievable that it's like, you just don't, it's sad and it's heartbreaking to even learn about. So, I haven't even watched it.
Yeah, and just like watching all the people that they interviewed for that show. I think they had Jim Ross on there. Dean Malenko was on there too. Chris Benoit's son, what was his name? David?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, the one that's alive, or
the one that's alive? Yes. I forget his name off the top of my head. I don't know if it's David or if it's something else, but regardless, they interview his other son that he had, and that was just like really, really heartbreaking to watch, you know, and just seeing how it affected not only like the Benoit side of the family, but his wife's side of the family too, and like the relationship those two families had with each other.
Oof, yeah, I bet.
So, and then
David Benoit is the alive one.
Okay, yeah, and then. Yeah, and then just watching how he talked about being, you know, all the hate that he has gotten for something that he had nothing to do with.
Right.
You know, it was just, it was heartbreaking, and it was just really enthralling to watch. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and his daughter is like pretty much dropped off the map, right? Like she's like uncontactable.
Yeah.
So. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's really good, though. I would definitely recommend watching it. But, I mean, be prepared for, like, you know, just to have your gut punched and, like, you know, your heart tugged at. So, yeah.
Yeah. I got to say, the documentary of Eddie Guerrero they made, I think it was WWE that made it. Man, that one was heartbreaking too, and just, I mean, the fact that he took GHB just to go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with what GHB is.
It's the date rape drug.
Oh, okay.
Bill Cosby drug.
Oh, okay.
Like, I mean, he used it for painkillers, but like it was, you know, his pain was so great that he couldn't sleep.
Right, so he had to take ample amounts of GHB just in order to relax, to fall asleep.
Right.
Yeah. Jeez.
Crazy.
It is crazy. Crazy stuff.
You know, and it's funny, we talk about this, and like this is, I don't want to call it casual conversation, but it's nothing unknown among the wrestling community, right? And so we talk about it as though it's nothing. I don't want to say as though it's nothing, but anyway, you get where I'm going with this. But my wife will be like, and this is what you want to do. Anytime that, you know, rumblings get going about me making a comeback, you know, these are the conversations she reminds me of.
Yeah. Well, she's worried about you.
No, she's not.
Yeah. She doesn't want you to take GHB. So.
Yeah, that's true. Unless it's her that has slipped it into my drink.
Right, yeah.
Which is how we
You're
met,
not taking that unless I give it to you, so.
Right.
Not under your own will. So.
That one fateful night.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hey, so, let's kind of lighten this up a little bit. My goodness, why'd you make it all depressing, Dylan? Good God.
Well, worst of the week.
I'm going to skip my usual spiel. I think it's becoming a little bit too standardized. And
it's a standard. It's a standard of the show.
Your standard.
Not as much as, your little intros that you do for each segment.
I know, but I don't want to do it this week.
Oh.
You do it. We're doing the best of the week. You do it.
All right. Well, without further ado, we do 2 segments each week on this show. One of them is the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Best thing of the week. And the other thing is the he's gonna puke worst thing of the week. Usually, I think we start off with best thing of the week. So, without further ado, the best there is, best there was, the best there ever will be, best thing of the week.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Hey, that was good.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah. See, I'm glad I skipped my stupid scripted crap. It's not even scripted. It's just I'm so used to saying it.
You skipped it because you're lazy.
That's okay. All right. Gee whiz. My goodness. What is this, my therapy session?
You just admitted to it, so.
Oh.
Yeah. So would you like to go ahead with your best thing of the week?
Sure. Mine's pretty self-serving.
Self-serving?
Yeah, but I don't care.
Okay.
My best thing of the week is the brownies I made. No, just kidding. No, my best thing of the week is the AEW Dark debut of one Robert Ego Anthony in a loss with Sean Spears against SCU this week.
Now, is this the former Egotistico fan? Tastico? Is that who it was?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
My one-time arch nemesis, Egotistico Fantastico, now going by his real name, Mr. Robert Anthony.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that our records are even. I think I was 2-2 against Mr. Fantastico. Pretty sure. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe he has one over me. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But no, he was arguably, I would say, top 3 favorite opponents of all time for me. I always loved working with him. It was always so easy and so much fun. And he was always a consummate professional, so I'm happy to see him get an opportunity like this. And I hope that it, more comes of it because, quite frankly, it was really just an easy spot. It wasn't really a lot of showcasing for him to do. But I hope he gets that opportunity because he is a true talent.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if you guys want to look into it, you can possibly find those matches on YouTube also.
Perhaps.
I'm giving a plug for you, too.
Look at you.
So
I don't get paid for those, but...
No, but, I mean...
Barely got paid for them then. Oh, okay.
I mean, if they want to give you money for your troubles,
Sure.
I'll give them your address right now. So
yeah,
I can just send you checks.
I have PayPal. I have Cash App. I don't have Venmo somehow. I have those too, but I don't have Venmo. I don't know.
Or I have a wallet.
I do have a wallet.
I have a mailbox. So
yep.
I will check the mailbox and the cash in there. I will put it in my wallet.
I have a MySpace account. No? Did no one have that anymore? Okay. So that's my best. My best. You want to be in my top 8? So what's your best thing of the week?
Well, I think after that statement, my best of the week is knowing that you still have a MySpace account.
I'm pretty sure. And hang on, I bet I can look it up. I bet it's still there.
Yeah.
I haven't touched it since God knows when. When did those stop becoming a thing?
I have no idea. As soon as Facebook.
I've got to type in. I'm pretty
out.
sure it's Jason Quick. Jason Quick, MySpace. That's on him.
Okay, while you're doing that, I am going to talk about my best of the week. And my best of the week is the promo that Randy Orton gave at the end of Raw this week, accepting Edge's challenge.
Ah.
Yeah. He's, I mean, you can make an argument for some of the bad stuff that's been in the build towards this match, as far as like some logic stuff is concerned. Mm-hmm. But I think in their proper roles, like Edge and Randy Orton have been pretty good. Mm-hmm. Especially Randy Orton. Like there's been arguments made that he can be lazy if he's not really into something.
Yep. He has to be engaged.
Yeah, he has to be engaged. But you can tell he's like really fully engaged in this feud, and he's doing a great job. Just the way he's cutting his promos and going off of saying that he's trying to save Edge so he can be with his family for be healthy for his family, and trying to make himself look like the good guy. Yeah. It's been great. So yeah, I really love the stuff that Randy is doing, and the promo at the end of Raw was really great. So
nice.
Yeah,
I think that might be the one. I guess the one the one angle that's really kind of keeping people interested in WrestleMania.
I would say so. I mean, it's just, I hate to go back to it, but just like with everything else that's going on, it's, and all the concerns and just like all the changes that have been made, it's people's interest level are gonna fade naturally. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's good that they still have Randy and Edge, something pretty high profile still to kind of keep the fans interested in the 2-night WrestleMania that's going to be coming up. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Do you log into your MySpace account yet?
I have a restricted profile, so I don't know what that means. So,
yeah,
there you go.
So shit. So
I take back what I said. You cannot be on my top 8.
Oh, well, as long as I'm in your top 5, personally.
Yeah, well.
So.
Well,
yeah.
Is it?
Could it be? All right. Got our best of the week out of the way, so let's scoot right on over. Let's piggytail back to he's gonna puke worst thing of the week.
Oh my God, he's gonna puke! He's gonna puke!
See, I think at this rate, you could do a one-man show.
I can't do a one-man show. No. It would it'd come off even lamer than doing a Raw show in front of no people. So.
Just get Cheesy John to call in. Maybe Mardi Gras.
Because Cheesy John is the person that I know who has been keeping up with wrestling, and that I can just talk to him about anything that's going on.
Speaking of worst of week.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's your worst of the week?
Dude, I honestly don't think I have one. I mean, your worst of the week last week was the coronavirus, which...
And you're like, I'm going with that. So.
Yeah, the world's biggest heel right now. I don't know that I have one. I mean, I think, in the wrestling that's going on between WWE and AEW, everyone's really trying to do their best, and they're trying to work with what they have. AEW saw the opportunity with an empty arena to do kind of the teleporting graphics with Matt Hardy. WWE, SmackDown, they saw the opportunity to do that same thing, to do that fall with Baron
Elias
Corbin.
and...
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, normally, if that was a normal show with audience, obviously they couldn't do something like that unless it was a backstage segment. In situations like that, maybe we would shit on it. But no, this time I'm not going to because, like I said, I think everyone's just trying to do the best they can with what they have. So it's hard for me to pick a best just based on that.
You mean a worst?
I'm sorry, a worst. Yeah.
Interesting.
I know. Now, then again, you could say, I have a clear worst, and I'll be like, you are correct. But just no, I guess based on what I'm kind of thinking of right now, I can't really think of one.
Okay. So my worst of the week, and and this is something that I am conflicted on to like a certain degree.
Okay.
This is going to kind of tie into what we talked about a couple weeks ago with The Undertaker.
Okay.
What we were talking about.
Oh, where they took his mystique away?
Not necessarily that,
I'll just
but
let you,
yeah. So we were talking about believability in wrestling not too long ago, and the Undertaker's name was brought up, and we're like, yeah, we want believability in wrestling, but Undertaker comes out and
we throw that out the window.
Yeah, shoot lightning bolts out of his hand. We're like, oh yes, that's awesome. We want that. We want that. We want lightning bolts out of.
But that's
we want lightning bolts out of our fingers and believable wrestling. So, what I am conflicted about is how Matt Hardy was portrayed this week on Dynamite.
Okay.
I'm glad Matt Hardy is in AEW and that they are letting him have more creative freedom than what he did in WWE. But teleporting, that's a little hard for me to swallow, I think. And I know that we made the point that, hey, yeah, Undertaker can do all this mystical stuff. But for a very long time, The Undertaker has been portrayed as having, like, some mystical presence or essence or power about him. And, after doing that, the fans accept that. But I believe is this the first time on a major wrestling show that we have seen Matt Hardy having some sort of power about him?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, his YouTube series is a little different.
Yeah, and all those matches at the compound that they had when he was in TNA, was it the Lake of Rebirth or something like that? Yeah. So so we're really led to believe that he can teleport now?
Well, he's been possessed. So, I mean, it's not Matt Hardy.
Well, it's Damascus,
right?
Or whoever it is, yeah.
Right. So the previous broken version of Matt Hardy was him being possessed by Zenith.
Uh-huh.
And now Zenith is gone, and he has been inhabited by Damascus. So Damascus is 3,000 years old.
Yes, 3,000 years old.
Yep. And
more violent than Zenith.
And more powerful.
Uh-huh.
So I'm with you. I'm reserving judgment.
I know. I'm not crapping on it or anything, but it's just very odd.
It is odd
that they would go with something like that, I guess.
So my one issue with the Matt Hardy situation is that, his YouTube videos and things like that, the production value is usually not great.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, maybe that's a stupid thing to bring up. But I feel like that's, if the idea of pro wrestling is to suspend belief, then you want to make it look as believable as possible, even if it is fantastical, right? So, like Bray Wyatt, everything that he's ever done, anytime that is like unbelievable, and mystical, the production value is great. And so it's almost like watching a horror movie.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the things that I've seen with Matt Hardy's characters, the production value is very poor, and it's like watching, a straight to DVD movie starring
like a
Bam
B movie
and Dan the Beast
kind
Severn.
of. Yeah, like I know where you're going. I know where you're going with that.
Filmed in the woods of Coldwater,
I think I've
Michigan.
seen that movie.
Shout out, Bam.
Yeah, yes, you do want to suspend your disbelief in wrestling, but how far can you go with that?
Well, I guess that's my point.
Until people are like, okay, this is, I know that this is all whatever, but that's a little too far for me to, jump into and actually suspend my disbelief for a second.
Right.
So...
yeah, like if it is unbelievable but also hokey, you usually have guests. Like, think about any kind of comic relief characters in WWE. And I hate to bring up WWE, but really in this instance, it's pretty much our only frame of reference. But the most recent example would be Breezango, being the Fashion Police.
yeah.
They were these goofy, kooky characters, but if you got like a real tag team in there as guests, they were kind of breaking the fourth wall and like kind of poking fun at it, But Breezango, like, that's them, that's their life, that's their character or whatever, so they're going to stay in character and it's going to be hokey or whatever. But you have these other characters that are like, why are we here? What are we doing?
Yeah.
And it kind of makes the segment. I loved the fact that Jericho was kind of breaking that fourth wall and being like, okay, yeah, well, you're in pretty good shape for being 3,000 years old. Like kind of poking fun at it.
Yeah.
But still also playing along and allowing Matt Hardy's character to kind of
Well, it's like Jericho
revealed.
was playing it. Jericho was playing it like you're just some crazy
right
hole of ass,
Right.
So, Matt Hardy could be telling him like, oh, I'm 3,000 years old and blah, 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 blah. And Jericho's just going to play it off like he's crazy.
Right.
So, how can he now when basically from what we saw on television, Jericho was standing in the ring while Matt Hardy was teleporting
Right.
down to the ring?
My only issue with the teleporting is how are they going to duplicate that? Like, eventually fans are going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that with a live audience.
Yeah, you can't. That's true.
Unless listen, Tony Khan's got a lot of money. So unless they do like a hologram thing, which, hey, maybe that's what they do, which would be sweet.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I'll give it to you, though. I'll give it to you.
See how it goes. It's a little hard to swallow.
It's worth the worst thing of the week for now until we see how it plays out.
So now, like, when they eventually have Blood and Guts, this basically means that having Matt Hardy on the Elite's team is an advantage because he can teleport anywhere that he wants to in the ring, apparently, and do whatever he wants. Like, he could teleport outside of the ring, grab, some sort of weapon, and then teleport back in.
But, dude, what if it is a hologram? What if they do have that? I mean, imagine what they could do if they had that type of capability. And it's unbelievable.
Then I don't know why you'd want to be a pro wrestler if you have that type of ability.
No, not. Yeah, of all the things you could do, it's kind of like time travel.
It's like time travel with a Corsica.
Right. Of all the things you could do, cure a coronavirus.
Right. So this brings up like another point too. This can kind of be seen as like a WWE type entertainment thing that AEW is doing.
Yep.
So by doing this thing with Matt Hardy, does this totally negate them from being a sports-based promotion? And
no.
Does it take them into the genre of entertainment like WWE has gone?
Well, it is always entertainment.
It is entertainment, yes, I get that. But, I mean, there's a difference between having a sports-based wrestling show for entertainment and then an entertainment show that has wrestling in it every once in a while.
Sure. Yeah, I completely agree with that. But
so,
I don't think that one has to be so far left from another necessarily. It's really how they do rankings and the fact that, every match matters. And I mean, that's really what makes it a sport. I mean, you compare that with every other sport and it's the same. So WWE is really more about entertainment because nothing really matters on a week-to-week basis.
Right. I don't know. I think this, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. I just know that, I like Matt Hardy. Most part, I like AEW. But this was just kind of just rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. And it just kind of leaves me, scratching my head and thinking, why? So, yeah.
I don't know. It's times like these, we need a Cheesy John to call in.
I know exactly what he would say.
A lot of swear words.
I can't repeat it right now. But just think of that sensor sound just looping over and over and over again for about 5 minutes, and that's what Cheesy John's response would be to that.
I'll tell you what, one of these days we're going to get this whole interview format figured out, and then everyone's in trouble.
Yeah.
We already have 2 guests that are confirmed. We just don't know how to make it work yet.
Yeah, so if you guys know how we could possibly make that work, please let us know, because we would like to experiment with it and, get some guests on here, get some interviews going.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to, and then one of those guests, I'm going to work hard to get Cheesy John on here. And it's going to be an explicit episode. I'm not even going to waste my time trying to edit that one.
We might not even talk about pro wrestling.
I suppose Jack Thrillers might be that might be explicit too.
That has the possibility to be something explosive. Yeah. So there you go.
Well, awesome. Well, wow. An hour really flew by. I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
I don't think so.
Whoa.
Yeah. I might go back and finish watching Tiger King.
There you go.
So I can get that out of my system and get it out of the way.
I am on season 3 of Ozark, so I'm going to finish that this week.
Nice.
Which is an incredible show. If you haven't watched it, I recommend it.
Yes. I haven't seen it, but yes.
Yes.
Yes. Just by what you said.
See.
I might shave. I'm kind of looking very quarantine-like.
Whoa.
Right now. Yeah.
Grizzly.
Massive beard going on.
Slick Grizzly.
I'm like a mix. The way I look right now, I'm like a mix of Grizzly Adams and Randall from Clerks. So.
Got it.
Yeah.
Neither of those guys were bald, though.
No, that's true. But I've got like, like the band shoes on.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah.
That's
backwards hat. I got just a regular looking sweater and a jean jacket. So.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm rocking it.
Now's about the time where my wife walks in. She goes, "What are you doing?" I say, "Oh, Dillon's just telling me what he's wearing."
Yeah.
No big deal. Usual stuff.
You want to come hear this? Do you want him to tell you too?
Yeah.
Honey, come listen to what Dillon's wearing right now.
Oh my.
Yeah, he's got a beard too.
Oh dear.
She's like, why do I even bother?
Right.
Why am I having you make up our baby's room?
Right. Yeah. Once this is done, you are moving out.
Yeah. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah. Good night. Good luck.
All right. Well.
Wow. That does it.
That does it. So, yeah.
You can find us on WrestlingHeadlines.com. You can also find us on QuickPainPod.com or any other social media services minus MySpace at QuickPainPod. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
That's right. And once again, be safe out there, you guys. So
yeah, be safe.
So, all right. Talk to you next week.
Bye.